Hello, I am Archivist Saren, and welcome to my study. And today, we are back to some Rimworld. Now, last time, we started this game, which, honestly, as I think I said a million times last stream, it is going far better than I ever expected it would. It is surprising just how swimmingly things have gone. We started out with the anomaly start, so we got some pawns here, which I spent like an hour re-rolling because I was never happy with them. And even now they're kind of very niche and not the best pawns, but it's fine. Let me close the window. I forgot to do that. Okay. Window has been eradicated. And then we also have Ebos here, who we named after Ebos in chat, but also originally we named him Ghoulie McGhoulson and just nicknamed him after Ebos, but it's fine. So that's our Ghoul. In case you couldn't tell by the name, I would be a bit concerned if you couldn't. But yeah, that's good. And last time, Void and Morg, I believe, are the ones that, yeah, they haven't gotten married yet, but they got fiancéed. Which, isn't there supposed to be a little, like, thing above the E in fiancé? Isn't it supposed to have, like, a little thing denoting that it's pronounced differently? I don't know. It just looks weird to me right now when I'm looking at it without the special character. Anyway, that doesn't really matter. At some point, those two are going to get married, which will be great. And then we can start making babies because as I explained last time, I am not so good at recruiting people. I get very picky, and most of the pawns that appear in the world are really freaking bad for one reason or another. Either they're like a freaking pyromaniac, or annoying, or very ugly, or, you know, something else that just kind of disqualifies them from existence in my colony. So we don't like that, and it's easier just to have your own kids and just raise them right, you know? We do have most of the settings at default, I believe. Where do you see that? Storyteller setting. Yeah, we're on Randy. And almost everything is on baseline, including the child aging rate. So kids will age up significantly faster than they would normally. And I guess they age at the exact same rate that they would normally because this is the normal aging rate. I just usually turn the aging rate down to 100%. Because then I can do other shenanigans with it. Hey, Ebos, go kill a bird. Thank you. Eat said bird. Okay, I'll keep you happy for a good while. That's basically all we do with Ebos nowadays, is just we send him out, he eats a bird, and then he just kind of waits around the base for an enemy to attack so he can rip and tear some more. It's a good life, honestly. And we don't have very good research, funny enough, for being, you know... Hey, Intellectual 3, right as we looked at it. Nice. But it's funny, because we are, like, the anomaly research team, but Void is the only one with good intellect. Everyone else is freaking dumb as a sack of bricks. I mean, I guess Morg is pretty decent with 5, but still, it's... Oh boy, and Ebos, we don't even talk about Ebos's, you know, intellectual skill. It's not great. Does this melee never deteriorate? Or does it only deteriorate? Or no, it is. Okay. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure 10 and above deteriorates, but yeah, that it is doing that. It's just very slow. Alright, who's our social person? Do we have a social person? Void is, and he's very bad at it. Okay. I mean, I guess 4 isn't very bad, but yeah, it's not great. So go talk to them. It's good we finally got a bulk goods trader. We've been waiting on that for a while. I mean, we're still pretty early in the game, but you know. So what exactly, what do we need? What do we not need? We want oh. I was gonna say we probably want to buy their components because we don't have anyone good at mining, but they don't have any components. What kind of a bulk goods trader doesn't have components? Come on, guys. Honestly, I've never understood the point of these books. I mean, sure, you can get some amount of like research out of them, but almost 5% mental break chance per hour of reading, that is significant. I don't know if that's worth it at all. So we might sell this and keep our other books. Because, you know, I think these would be useful. Yeah, melee, construction, probably useful. If only Ebos could read, then he could get all the melee skill. But I think I'm gonna get rid of the this book because that just does not seem worthwhile. And we're gonna sell all our leathers because just having the pure silver will probably be more helpful in the long run. And I'm gonna sell an amount of our rice because we generally are making more rice than we actually need right now. So we can turn some of it into money. Okay. There we go. We'll just go with that. Apparently we actually need clothing. As I said, usually on my, you know, more modded runs, I go for like a nudist run because I don't like having to deal with constantly making and replacing and selling clothing. It's kind of a hassle. I mean, I know you can kind of automate it if you set up the tailor bench and then you set up like, oh, keep this many in storage of these types of things. But then whenever you're selling clothing, you need to be like, ah, well, I wear like dusters and shirts and pants or tribal wear or whatever combination of clothing you wear. And then you need to remember to not sell off the, you know, clothing you have in storage. And it's a hassle. That's also why I usually, if I am going to be going for any kind of clothing or armor in a run, I would usually use the outfit stands mod, so you can just have like a stand with your armor on it, and then switch into that at, you know, on demand, and it's a lot faster. But we don't have that because there's no mods in this, so I guess we're going to be keeping the clothing in case we need that later, as just against my nature. But it doesn't look like there's anything this guy has that we need, because he doesn't sell steel, he doesn't sell components. Like, this is the worst bulk goods trader I've ever seen. But, you know, they give us money in exchange for... Oh, it's all down here. In exchange for random BS. So, at the very least, that is a plus for us. We definitely want to go and grab the rest of the silver. Because once again, we don't have pickup and haul, so we can't grab all of this in one go, sadly. We need to do things incredibly inefficiently. We should also make more shelves, because we can. No. Cease. I should really not be trying to build things while time is moving, because I am not precise enough for that. Just build all of this into shelves. Is just this whole half of the room shall be shelf. And then we'll have infinite storage, which is not the greatest idea. How you doing on food, Ebos? Not great. Go kill another bird. Yeah, eat. That was not enough. Go eat another. Alright, that's good enough. Apparently sparrows are not very filling. Who would have known? Not me, because I have not just shoved a whole raw sparrow down my gullet before. It's not really come up. So Did I ever expand? I did not. I haven't expanded the home zone in a while. I'm being lazy. What the heck? Alright, this doesn't have anything in it. Might as well expand this into there because it's already in the home zone. But yeah, largely we're just we're just waiting. Luckily, the game seems to be running nice and smooth so far for a number of reasons. One, because we're on regular map size, so I didn't make the map size bigger like I usually do. Additionally, there's no mods, so evidently the game actually runs rather well. Oh no, okay, it's just one person. Still the flu. Okay. In my last game, I had a mod, I think it was vanilla, what was it? It was vanilla something expand. I mean, that doesn't narrow it down. There's like a million vanilla expanded mods, but I don't remember what it was. It wasn't events. It was like interactions between pawns. And one of the things that added was that when a pawn goes through something somewhat traumatic, it can give them like new traits and stuff. And I had really bad experiences with the flu specifically because the flu kept, for some reason, are you doing big medicine or small medicine? And big medicine would probably be fine. We have a lot of it. Eventually we're going to switch to small medicine, but by then we'll probably have a dedicated hospital, which will make up the difference. Either way, the flu was a big issue because we kept getting people with the flu, and then afterwards, and it was the flu specifically, I don't know why, but after those sicknesses were recovered from, then they would, for some reason, gain a negative trait. It's just like, the stresses of being sick and fighting this deathly illness has left the person scarred and changed. And one time, they got the ugly trait. Another time, they got the brawler trait, which doesn't seem like a negative, really, but they were one of our best shooters, and they got the brawler trait, which was just so dumb. Let's set you to max bed rest. You want to be sleeping. So yeah, and I remember there was a third one. I don't remember what it was. It might have been like annoying voice or something. But either way, it kept giving me negative traits off of specifically the flu, and it was very annoying. So I disabled that function in that mod because it was just like, why? Why would you do that? It's just the flu. Like, honestly, I don't even get why you need medicine to get over the flu in this game. I personally, I don't get flu shots, and I end up getting the flu decently often, maybe once every few years. Not that often, really. It's pretty rare that I end up with the flu. But I don't take any medicine for it. Like, I don't know if they're trying to say that people in the modern day are just absolute freaking gigachads that can tank illnesses, but I've never really needed any amount of medicining. I also realized that the music was just pretty low for the stream. It's not very low for me, but my volume and stream volume are quite different things. Anywho, yeah, so I've gotten over the flu quite often with no medicine, but then in Rimworld, it's just like, they just freaking die to it. I don't know how the heck that happens. I know the flu can have complications, and plenty of people do die to the flu every so often. Does this thing have a built-in light? I mean, I always kind of knew that it did, but it actually is lit at the workplace. That's actually really interesting. I never noticed that. Because, yeah, I'd always noticed that this kind of had a glow to it, but I didn't think it actually counted as having the workstation lit up. So that's cool. Never knew that before. Medical treatment needed. You're gonna need to be treated a lot, huh? That is no good. Luckily, our bedroom is decently clean. Of course, they don't have common sense, so they don't clean before trying to tend, but yeah, no, it's fine. It's probably fine. They'll recover. Ebos is getting hungry again. Let's find you something a bit more substantial. It's raining you, so you could kill the boom rat. I paused it again somehow. I don't know how I did that. Alright, go fulfill your destiny. Kill the boom rat. That boom rat is kicking your butt, Ebos. Come on, you're better than that. Alright. Perfect. Consume. How injured did you get? Not that injured. You'll recover. Alright. That wasn't even a full thingamawhatsit of your hunger. You eat a lot. I guess it was kind of just like a rat thing, so let's just give you a sparrow snack to tide you over. Perfect. Okay. And yeah, you're almost fully healed from all that because they were all just tiny little scratches. Nothing really to worry except for that burn. Jeez. A pretty big burn. So I know you can put ghoul plating on ghouls, and I know that you can put some bionics. I do wonder, however, if we would be able to put on something like the armor skin gland, or whichever one of these is the best one. Which one's the best? 30, 50, 70, 20, 40, 52. Okay, yeah, so stone skin is the correct one. It reduces movement, but that can be offset by bionic legs and stuff. So if we put this on him... Jeez, that is expensive. Why 8 advanced components? Oh my gosh. But either way, that would mean that we give him armor, because he can't wear armor. So by putting this on, that would be a significant amount of damage reduction, plus the ghoul enhancements. We could throw ghoul plating onto him, which once again, make him slower, but the legs would overcome that. And mainly, the reason why I'm considering such augments is because if the ghoul gets too badly damaged and we put bionic pieces on him, then while his natural pieces will grow back, the bionic pieces will not. So we would end up losing any bionic legs that get ripped off the ghoul. But if we gave him the bionic legs to be able to move faster, and gave him, you know, a bunch of things to offset that movement speed but make him nigh invincible, then he could be an absolute juggernaut. Are there bionic spines in this? I don't think so. I think that was a modded thing. Search bar, there you are. Let's see, spine. Do you get any spine? Bionic spine? That isn't just a modded thing. Oh, but it's body part efficiency 100. Okay. So it's not even like better efficiency, it's just regular efficiency. Aren't the other thing? Yeah, other body parts are higher efficiency. That is odd. But at least we know if somebody gets crippled, we can give them a bionic spine. But yeah, normally in my modded playthroughs, I give everyone architect spines because if you didn't know, the spine apparently gives a lot of movement speed. So it's pretty efficient. Alright, Ebos, you almost need to eat again. You're just insatiable. Oh, is that food time? Chemical interest? Yep, we can't have you in the party then. Also, not able to firefight. Yeah, you are useless. Like, there's 3 things that any pawns that we bring in need to have, which is some combat skill, which, to be fair, some of these don't have any. But you'll learn eventually. But yeah, some kind of combat skill, not having chemical interest or fascination, because we don't use drugs in these colonies, and some kind of useful skill. And not to be like 80 years old, which this one isn't, but you know. You're probably just gonna be ghoul food. So what do we want to do about that? We need to start leveling up your shooting. It'll be a slow process, which is why we need to start it soon. But that's why we gave you the auto pistol, is so you could do that. Yeah, you're tending to you. How's your flu doing? Perfectly fine. It's just taking a lot of medicine, because the frickin' flu takes a long time to clear up. But alright, we are taking you, and you can, I guess, go eat them. But you, I kind of want you to go out and shoot at something. I want to see how quickly your shooting can go up. Okay, that can just fly away. Alright. That is unfortunate. I don't even know if we got any, you know, skill out of that. Either we did, and it just was a very, very small amount, or we didn't, because nothing hit and it just flew off. I don't know. We'll see. Boom rat. How's your needs doing? Your needs are fine. Okay. Shoot this thing. Yeah, I mean, it's going up. Just not at any rate. I don't know if this person will be able to fight anything ever. Because, I mean, that is just the slowest rate I have ever seen anything raise at. Hey, Abos, do you kill them yet? You did indeed. Consume them. Alright, here's the plan. I can't have you constantly, like, having to move you around and do the things, so we're just gonna set your hunt to top priority, and we're gonna set everything that can't attack back to be hunted. Which will increase our value, our you know, it'll increase our everything, our wealth, significantly. But it just might help, because if you're automatically hunting 24/7, except for when you're making food or healing people, then you'll probably get a lot of shooting done, and hopefully actually get this shooting skill up to something decent. Like, I don't know, a 3 or 4 would probably be pretty solid. I mean, it actually wouldn't be very solid. I think that most of the time, you need a pretty high shooting skill, and this is just not cutting it. Maybe we could get you some, what do you call them? Psi trainers for shooting? Because that would be very useful. But who's to say... you might just have to end up... which actually might be kind of a better thing. Because I usually have it so my medic is also a combat person, and then they end up getting hurt themselves, and then they can't medic very well. So maybe having you just, for the most part, being a medical individual and not a very good shooting individual might be kind of a good thing. Because, yeah, this is just not... It's raising up by like 8 or 9 points every time they shoot. I don't know how effective that is. We need to get these two training their shooting is what we need. So yeah, that for now we're just gonna say that you don't do that. We're gonna have Morg train her shooting with the shotgun once she's better. Which is taking so long. What the heck? Why do flues take so very long? That is no good. But eventually she'll be better. Medical treatment needed, of course. Since you're so much ahead on the illness, let's set you to just regular medicine. Everyone on attack. You're not gonna, tend to them. I know you're sleeping, but you should be on call. You're the doctor. Alright. Good. That is always the most annoying thing, is when, like, like if there's a baby that is literally starving, and instead of feeding it, the mom is just like, nah, I'm just gonna go to sleep. It's like, bro, the baby's just gonna be starving for the next 8 hours unless I manually go in and tell you to, take care of the child. But that's just how Rimworld pawns be. Alright, and since we have Schmeat in storage, now Ebos is gonna be able to eat without me having to worry about it. We should make this at some point. So let's just do that. We can probably make it out of limestone. Maybe limestone interior, marble exterior. And let's put the door here, actually. And it might seem weird that I'm putting the tough material on the inside and then the less tough material on the outside, but there's a reason for it. Because if I don't really care about the looks of the the freezer, but I would care about the looks of if I put like another room here, I would want one of the walls to be marble, and thus it would make sense to make that exterior wall out of marble then, because I would care about the looks of that adjacent room. Alright, it's just a good thing we had enough limestone to finish all this. Not there. Okay. Perfect. So that will be good. We might need a third solar panel just to keep all these filled, even with thingamawhatsits in place. How are you doing on food? Probably fine. Eat the meat. Good. Alright. Because, yeah, this will go bad fairly soon here. I want him to eat all of it. Alright, I think we're out of the other medicine, so we can switch back to the good stuff. The deserter, no. We don't really care about sidecasts right now, and we do not want the Empire to be our enemy at the moment, because that would be exactly bad. Do we even need 3 of these? I feel like 2 might suffice. Except for maybe during heat waves. That's a tough one. Yeah, build this door so it's easier to get in and out, please. Thank you. Okay. How's that boss doing? He's fine. I do wish I gave a bit of a warning about the ghoul not being fed, because I get kind of paranoid about that. Alright, the rest of this to be marble. There'll only be the one entrance, which I think will be fine. And normally 3 of these would also be fine. I'm just a little worried about the steel and component cost. Because we just don't have much of it and not really any way to get any more. So a freezer might not be our biggest priority right now. It's good that we're getting our base set up the way that it should be. But perhaps we don't need to turn on the freezer yet. We'll just have it sitting there until we can secure more components. Because overexpanding is generally a problem that I run into. Go eat the rest of the meat before it goes bad, please. 0.3 hours, oh boy. Some nearly rotten human flesh for you, isn't that delightful? Questing laborers, ooh. Just debt, the book. Interesting. Alright, interesting. I still never know what that thing means exactly. But we do need advanced components eventually. We will need them for, I think, the fabrication bench. And then everything thereafter. So that'll be good. And you need the fabrication bench in order to start making new advanced components. So 2 is what you need to start out with that. And after that, we would just need plasteel, steel components, and gold. And then we'd be able to make infinite advanced components, which will then be turned into pulse rifles, probably. So, or charge rifles. I don't know why I keep calling them pulse. Because I don't... Is that what it's called here? Yeah, pulse charged munitions. So that's why I keep thinking pulse rifle, not charge rifle. Anywho. Yeah, I mean, we could give up one person for 9 days. Can I send more? I don't think that would be a good idea. I mean, they're sick. They're almost better. But I think it might have to be more. We'll wait for the sickness to be done. I don't want them dying while off the map. Deal maker. Ah. One of you. Alright, it's the joyous variant. I don't remember what that does exactly, but very high social, very high shooting, and you come with a frickin' Glock, so that's good. You have a scar, which is reducing your manipulation significantly. That's no good. And you're not really good at anything else. I mean, it would be nice to have a social person, and joyous is always a good thing to have. I think that just makes a lot of people happy. But... And I don't think we're at the point that we can have metal horror joiners yet. I don't think. Honestly, I don't know. But... we can hope not. Maybe it would be safest just to kill him, or say no to him. But I mean, that shooting skill would make him rather invaluable. And he doesn't have any negative traits. He does have a scar, but a lot of people get scars. And it's only on his arm, so we'd be able to replace that with a bionic at some point. Not like it's on his brain or anything. He comes with, you know, decent clothes, good food. He's in a different religion. So we'd have to... you know, But we'd have to imprison him probably. Do we have a prison? We don't really have a prison. But that's fine. I'm sure we could throw something together, like just put a little bed in this room and use that. But he has the highest social skill. How are we supposed to... I mean, I guess he's kind, so it'll probably be easy to convince him. Hopefully. Alright, put one of these in here. If he's even wanting to join. We'll see. I think that's what they... I think it's just kind of what they do. Alright, Ebos, you stand guard. Boyd is gonna go talk to the guy. But if he tries any funny business, Ebos will be there to, you know, beat the crap out of him. Yeah, definitely creep joiner, but they're not always bad. May be very useful, but you sense there's something, whatever that name is not telling you. Would it be easier to, like, capture him now? Or should we let him join and then capture? Probably let join and then capture. Because then we don't need to, you know, recruit him. We would just need to convert him. So yeah, we'll let him join. Okay, and you don't need to hunt. We can actually turn off the hunting. Because the other person that we were trying to train the hunting on, they definitely aren't going to be getting it. But you need to be convinced over to our side. And then what else are you going to be able to do? You can help with plants. Can't really do cooking because then everyone will just get food poisoning because 4 just is not high enough. You can't do mining. We once again have another person that has 0 mining skill. 90% chance to do that. Let's have you drop your revolver. Still 90% chance. I wonder what does that. You stay here. Get arrested. Thank you. So we can arrest you and then convert you over to our religion because we need you to. Alright, you need to be top warden because that's what you do. Alright, well, that went well, surprisingly. Can you haul these things in? Not very efficiently, but haul them all the same. But at the very least, this guy has some good shooting. And that will be good. Can you check for a metal horror? Like surgical inspection? Is that hidden abnormalities? Take 2 medicine. But it doesn't look like it can fail, really. So maybe? No medical beds available. This is a medical bed. Kinda. You'd be sleeping on the floor either way. We don't have a prison room, I'm sorry. That's just how it be. Oh, and no, you're the not ready for surgery. We'll get him ready for surgery. Like he should be getting in bed like a good prisoner. Where's something we can kill? That's pretty far away. Something closer, please. That is also pretty far away. Is there nothing closer? Nothing at all? No, it's even further. Even further. Okay, I didn't think you could get further. That's kind of closer. Kill the squirrel. Yeah, I just want to make sure that there's no metal horror shenanigans, and I don't know if the surgery will actually help with that, but I would assume so. I mean, if there's a metal horror inside someone and you cut them open, I'm pretty sure you'll see it. You know, it seems obvious to me. Get in bed so you can be cut open. I demand it. Oh, are you better now? You are. Okay, good. Alright, how's this going? Not great. That is not a very big bonus. Probably because this guy has such high freaking social skill that he's almost impossible to convince. Alright, apparently we're using good medicine. I guess because this stuff hasn't grown yet. You got this. Tell me if there's a metal horror in there, please. I'd rather if there was not. Critical inspection found no anomalies. Doctor may lie if it's in their own self-interest. What do you mean? What condition? Apparently he cracked his clavicle by doing an inspection. I don't know how that works. He doesn't... It's just a crack. I don't even think that can get infected, so just tend it like this. We don't care. We're not using a whole medicine on a clavicle crack. But what self-interest would they have? Unless it's saying, like, if someone has a metal horror and you send that person to go and investigate someone else who has a metal horror, maybe they won't reveal it. I don't know. I don't know what that is insinuating. And it's a little crazy to me, but good to know. But he hasn't been here long enough. I don't think he's transmitted the metal horror if he has one. Kill the turkey. You know, at the very least, out of everyone, Ebos is actually learning combat skills. Even if everybody else is not doing too hot in that regard. Alright, good job, Ebos. Alright, and you're back to full health. Good. So then we just need to convince you over to our side, and Bob's your uncle. Or Fyodor is your uncle. I really need to rename this guy. Because he is good. I'm never going to be able to refer to him by name, ever. Because he's just... It's just not a good name. I don't know how to pronounce it. We can harvest that. I mean, so far we're doing well. We're almost to... Yeah, we just need this, and we'll be to the assault rifles. But we need components for that, so... Who knows how that's gonna go? I certainly don't. I was hoping that the bulk goods trader would have a sufficient supply of stuff for that, but they did not. Do we have anyone that's good with animals? Animals. Animals. No animals. No animals. Okay. So Paya's decent with animals. We could get a horse. We would need a pen. But we could. Kind of wish we didn't need a pen, but I think that would take a sentience catalyst, which we do not have. The issue with pens, though, is that they take up a lot of space and are very flammable. And so we would end up having a large area that would probably catch on fire at some point. But it would just be a singular horse, so just make this big square and put a fence gate, and then we need a pen marker just somewhere in here. And then which of these horses do we want? You're the youngest, so we'll go for you. And is anyone set to... You're not really set to it, but now you are. All in all, things are going well. Things are going swimmingly. If we can get that horse, then we can send somebody on a bit of an adventure out toward a camp of some sort, a town. And then from there, we'd be able to sell things, buy things. And mainly what I'd be hoping to find there is components. Because if we can just have a lot of components, life will be good. Oh, that was easy. Yeah, I'm working on it, okay? You know, pens aren't built overnight. They're a long process. Can you get rid of this tree, please? While you're at it, get rid of that tree, because that'll give us wood that we can use just right here. Thank you. Very good. Don't you be wandering off now. We almost have your pen sorta completed. Maybe. And we'll need you to get out of there. I don't know how we're gonna do that. Maybe we'll kill you? Can you go over fences? Let's see. Where does it say that? Blocked by fences. No. Okay, so it can just wander out. Finish this. Thank you. Okay. Now you're not wandering away. That's good. So who would be... Oh yeah, and we needed to do... Let's see, quest. This expires in 3.1 days. But I think Morg is the optimal person to send, because they're not necessary to be around here. Because Void is our researcher, so he needs to be here for the dark research and the main research. And Paya is our plant person, so we need them to be making the food, gathering the food, and doing medicine if needed. So you're both very necessary to stay here, but Morg isn't. Morg is very good at things like construction, but construction isn't a constant thing we need to worry about, and you can also do construction. So, in theory, you'd be able to go, and you're our best fighter, which means that you'd probably be able to protect the caravan should it get attacked. So, let's send you out, and we'll just defend with Ebos, mainly. I don't know if we'll need anything more. Oh, and this guy. Once we actually get him converted. Which who knows when that'll be. But yeah, let's do world. And now the nearest town, they're all connected by roads, so it shouldn't be that difficult. But I think, let's see. It's 2.2 days. 2 days, 1.8 days. Okay, so this is technically the closest. So let's go there. They're all kind of the same, really. Morg plus a horse. That's why we got the horse. I've noticed they don't like to buy dread leather on its own, so we'll need to turn that into like clothing or something if we want to sell it. We can sell the bird skin and just bring all our silver. And honestly, we probably don't need the proximity detector. I don't know if they'll buy it, but just take it with you. Because, you know, we have Ebos to stand outside. He's our proximity detector. If he gets attacked by sight stealers, then we know they're there. You know, that's how the system works. So hopefully that'll be enough money, and it's a pretty short, you know, movement time, so... And what travel supplies you bringing? Nothing too crazy. Alright. I'm hungry quickly. Yeah. You probably won't be gone 3 whole days anyway. Oh, but it's turning night, like, right now, so... Not a good time to be sending them out. But they'll be fine. Okay, just tie up the horse to Ebos. It'll be a great idea. So why are they able to pick up a bunch of stuff at once when they're preparing for, you know, travel, but not on any other situation? I'm gonna be honest, the second they left and then something popped up, I kind of thought that was it saying that the caravan was under attack just immediately. And I was gonna be upset. But yeah, we're getting some good research done. We're working on ghoul infusion, so if we find another tough pawn, we can ghoulify them. But yeah, if you're back within 3 days, which you only have food for 3 days, so... Ghoul attacking. Where? Up here. Glasses. Jealous, sickly, great memory. I don't think that... Most of that doesn't affect them. The great memory would actually make it so they can get better melee skill. Ooh. They already have Blood Warmer, which, let's see, allowing survival in extremely cold environments. Pretty nice. I don't think that helps us at all. I mean, I guess it would make it so we, you know, can deal with cold snaps, I guess, and leave our ghouls outside. But all in all, not necessary. But ghoul plating, that's pretty nice. Can I tame a ghoul? Is that something one can do? I don't know if we can. Because we have this guy. And I don't know how we can... Maybe if we kill them and resurrect them, they'd be ours. But that seems to be more difficult than just infusing a new one. Although the reason why I'm thinking about it is because this thing already has things like ghoul plating, which is pretty nice. So how slow are you? Not that slow. But alright, here's the plan. Ebos, you're gonna go 1v1 this loser, because you have tough, which directly counters their ghoul plating. So, in theory, you are, like, on the same level. Except they have slightly less manipulation. Because their consciousness is weakened? Is that because of this? Maybe. Yeah, because the blood filtration is lowered, which I guess lowers all of this to some degree. Yeah, okay. So yeah, see, you have 1% more manipulation than this thing, which means that I'm rooting for you, Ebos. Oh, but you're hungry. Does that count for anything? Kill the bird. We'll keep the thing distracted. I don't know if Paya's actually gonna be able to hit it at all, but we will try. Okay, you need to consume. We can't have you be hungry. Okay, honestly, I don't think you're actually gonna ever hit that. Alright, Ebos, you're all fed. Go and deal with that. We should be faster than it. Though maybe not. I think we've actually broken even on speed. I guess ghouls are just faster than regular colonists normally. It's kind of weird. Because you should be moving at 100% movement speed, and this should be moving at less so. Okay, we're gonna juke it around this way to bring it back to Ebos. Don't be going 2 different ways around the tree. It's inefficient. Get her, Ebos. It's kind of a bad place to have them because... Oh, did you actually hit them? You hit them! Good job! Alright, we need you to come out here as well. You have some shooting, yeah. You grab... Where did we put it? Revolver. You got those, Ebos. Alright, get out here, Void. You actually hit them again. You're a beast. And you're actually getting a lot of shooting skill. This is amazing. You good, Ebos? No, you're getting stunned. Alright, Void, we need you to shoot goodly. Wow, you are hitting surprisingly often. Okay. Ugh. That was rough. I don't think we can actually get any of the ghoul plating or anything out of you. You'll recover. You're just perfectly fine. Yeah, no, actually, you weren't even close to dying. I was a bit worried, but no, you are good. Surprisingly. I guess you just had better... Yeah, I mean, you had way better melee skill. And actually, that gives me some hope, because look at that. I mean, while hunting, she almost got no skill, but when fighting an actual fight, she gained like 2 levels of shooting immediately. So that is incredibly good news. Alright, good job, Ebos. You could consume the ghoul. I don't know if we would need to do that, or like to keep them around, because I know the ghoul plating is pretty cheap, I think. Right? Ghoul infusion. No. Ghoul enhancements. Plating. Yeah, it's just 70 bioferrite, which you're able to pull bioferrite from any anomaly that you have captured. And we're probably going to have several captured. So I doubt that that's going to be an issue. What else can we get? Corrosive heart. 70% flammable. Nice. Painful nature of the prosthetic. Only ghouls can tolerate this enhancement. Very strong acid, which can be projected from the ghoul's mouth. Ah! Why? How is the heart connected to the mouth? Can you, you know... Can you explain that exactly? There's a metal blood heart. Pump small amount of metal blood into the ghoul's bloodstream, making it more resistant to damage for a short period of time. Also makes them more vulnerable to fire. Slows the ghoul down. Okay, so it's... It like allows for an ability? I don't know how useful that one will be. Barbs, so what do those do? Bioferrite spikes, they can be surgically attached to a ghoul. They drastically increase a ghoul's melee damage, but limit its range of motion, slowing it down. Now, that would be fine. 150%. Sweet mama jamma. Ghouls can be really strong, huh? That's... I mean, I guess they'd have to be if you're fighting, like, mechanoids with them. But still, jeez. Alright. Anything else that's normal? Adrenal heart. I think all the hearts are just, like, ability things that we can use. So not as important, but the barbs and the plating, along with some bionic legs, would be amazing. Because I think that would kind of even out. Yeah, so I guess you can consume the ghoul. Everyone back to your regular business. It's weird, because I don't think I've ever been attacked by a ghoul outside of this playthrough. I've been attacked by shamblers. And... I don't know, other things. I've even had animal shamblers come into the map. But I've never had, like, specifically ghouls. Oh, Ghouls count as humans. Interesting. I mean, I know they're like, you know, a pawn here, but I could have sworn they would have given you like dread leather and twisted flesh, not human meat and human leather. But, you know, I'll take it. Where are you? You're just out in the middle of the desert somewhere. That's good for you, I guess. You'll be there eventually. I'm happy with how that went. I'm happy with everything. Everything's looking up as of now. I didn't get any extra water before starting the stream. What a fool am I. How's your healing doing? Very good. Alright. You know, if only I was able to do some of my modded shenanigans along with the ghouls, because then I could give the ghoul an architect power core, which reduces their hunger rate by 9/10, which means that they would pretty much never need food, and the ghoul is pretty much the only thing in the game, or the food is the only thing in the game the ghoul actually needs. So by reducing that by 9/10, you would be essentially removing the only restriction on having ghouls, which is food. But, you know, if we can just get the freezer up and running, which would require more components, which would require more to get back. But if we can get that going, then we would be able to hunt some big game like rhinoceroses and mega sloths. And then we could put all that meat in the freezer, and we would just have pretty much infinite food for Ebos to eat, because he can eat schmeat autonomously. So that would be good. Oh, so I have begun the process of trying to get a new model for me, so that will be quite nice when that eventually comes through. I'm hoping to have a lot of good stuff to show off when that debut happens eventually. It's still probably months away, but, you know, because I've just started the process of getting the model, and then the model still needs to be made, and that takes a long time. So wouldn't be expecting that to be popping up in like the next few days, because it's not that quick. But it'll be nice eventually. Oh, that's a lot of components. Alright, well, we didn't bring a lot to sell. That was about it. And immuno enhancer, that's pretty nice. Not necessary, though. Ooh, Berserk Pulse is like the best base game psycast, I believe. All I know, I don't know if it actually works the same way as in the psycast expanded mod, but all I know is that I have beaten entire armies of enemies by just using Berserk and Berserk Pulse to just turn all of them against each other. It works incredibly well. But okay, 41 apiece. You're not really very good at, you know, trading, but that's fine. I need these, and because it's an inefficient trade, it lowers our wealth. And that's actually a good thing, if anything. So yeah, grab all that and just head home. There's nothing else you really need to do. Do you have any steel? We could probably buy some steel. Because we need steel. And we still have money and carry capacity, so we'll just grab all of this. Yo, who needs money? Anyway. I certainly don't. Money is, you know, I would say it's the root of all evil, but that is an incorrect quote, for it is the love of money that is the root of all kinds of evil. But, you know, it's just one of the most misquoted things in existence. How are you doing? You're almost there. I'm sure you will be having a good time. And hopefully you won't hate us. Yeah, but you see, he hates us because ideology. Why would he hate the ghoul for eating human meat? That's a bit weird. Do you guys like the ghoul? No. Yeah, you have a low opinion of the ghoul. That is quite racist, if you ask me. You know, you can't hate the ghoul just for being a ghoul. It's just how ghouls are. He didn't ask to be turned into a ghoul. You know, I wonder how how it all would work. Because earlier when we were doing the different characters, you know, we were like kept randomizing all the characters. We saw numerous characters that had the ghoul as like a husband or a brother or something like that. And it's like, sure, I know that it's just randomizing through them as if the ghoul was just a regular pawn, because the ghoul at its baseline level is a pawn. But at the same time, I kind of feel like that's a little ridiculous. Because how would that even work? How would you have a ghoul as a brother? Because it's a ghoul. You know, did you turn your brother into a ghoul? Or did somebody else turn your brother into a ghoul? Like, how immoral is the situation we're talking about here? Alright, yeah, convince this man. Alright, we only need like 4 or 5 more of those and we'll be there. Alright, but by tomorrow we should get these all done. And then we can put all our food in here. So let's do stockpile zone. Important, clear all, do foods, no rotten. And then human-like and animal corpses. Probably even entity corpses. But no mechanical corpses. Alright, and then you guys, all of you, we're gonna link the settings. And we're going to say no foods. But you can have corpses. Where's all the other corpses? Oh, you can't put the... Right. Here is where we put the corpses. So, mechanoid and drone. No food. Good. Great. I didn't even know you could put humanoid or animal corpses on shelves, so that's kind of interesting. How's your food, Ebos? Not great. Go eat. Because it keeps really wanting to select that rice. But yeah, we don't have refrigeration just yet, so we need you to eat all that human meat. But once we have this guy, we will have a lot better defenses because his shooting skill will be very useful. And we made sure, for the most part, that he doesn't have a metal horror in him. So, there's that. Do I have any other ranged weapons for this man? I don't think so. That is unfortunate. Alright, down to 15. One step closer. Alright, now these turn on. And they are reducing this place down into the depths of low temperature, which is great. Because then our meals won't expire anymore. Our rice, which was never really an issue to have it expiring, it won't expire. And most importantly, the meat won't expire. You think Ebos could 1v1 a Rhino? How many 1v1 to Ghoul? Kind of Rhino-like. Except not at all. I don't know what similarities a Ghoul and a Rhino have, except for maybe gray skin. But they don't really have horns, which is unfortunate. How are everyone's these things? We need to have a moral guide, but honestly, that's not really my main concern right now. Somewhat impressive already. Interesting. Alright. I guess it's fully floored and big, so that's all you really need. What does this count as? A barracks? Okay. How's our wealth? Our wealth kind of looks like Batman here with the little hood with the spike ears. But so far it's pretty normal. It's pretty much at the same point as when we started. So not that different. But our building wealth has steadily gone up ever since we got rid of all the floors. We've just been building more. Ah, yes, that. Perfect timing. So you bring back the horse, and then we'll unload all the components, and then you are getting sent off immediately to go and work for the man. And then it's gonna be great. Yeah, so we couldn't sell the proximity detector, which is unfortunate. Okay, you had all the components on you, which is great. Alright. So it'll only be 9 days, and they're to help harvest crops. You can harvest crops. Not very well, but you can. Arara. Very nice. I don't know why. I do kind of know why, but I don't know why. Every time I see the word Aurora, my brain just thinks of the... Put down the book. Put book away. Thank you. Get in the shuttle. That's fine. You can take the meal with you. Oh boy, advance payment. Yeah, definitely bring that inside. We don't want that. Turn into goop. And haul the medicine inside because that's important. Alright. Well, they're going to be gone for a good long while, but that's perfectly fine. How long until you are... Oh, you're only like... What is that, like one more attempt before you're back to our side? Hi, Abos. You're in the game already, so... It's not exactly high for the first time because you've been here the whole time. But hello, welcome back. You need to eat. Go eat the food. Alright, and also what? Yeah, -24 is your comfortable temperature, so that's... I don't think we're ever going to even reach that, even with a cold snap, so... Ebos, you stand guard outside. I feel like it's... It feels like Sight Stealer type. I don't know, ambiance. It's a little creepy. I think that's just because there's a gray pall, but still. Must have been a bad rat. Yep. Yeah, I did have you kill and eat a boom rat earlier. So, you know. It kind of exploded, but you were fine. It was raining. Alright, is this guy gonna be convinced? Yes. Okay. So now he is part of our religion, so we can let him go. There we are. Break risk. Yeah, I mean, you probably would not be very happy given all of that, but you know, you'll recover, I'm sure. Let's give you a new bed. Just because we can. So what are your jobs? What do you do? You're just social. We can set you to be very good in cleaning and hauling. Any kids yet? No. No, we need to wait until Void and Morg are married, which is going to take a while because I sent Morg off on a quest, so she's gone for like 9 days. But, you know, it is what it is. So yeah, this guy will mostly just be cleaning and hauling, but also can do wardening and childcare because of his good social skill. And he's a benefit to people emotionally, so he'll make people happy, which is a good thing. And he has good shooting, so we'll be able to defend ourselves a bit better with him around. Here we go. You got your own bed. Very nice. We still don't have anyone for crafting or mining. That's not good. Not good at all. Alright, we're gonna... Let's see. Can you move your position? Yeah, here we go. We're gonna have Ebos on the right side, as always, just so I can remember where he is. Alright, he's just redistributing all the stacks of stuff, which is good. And we just wait. Not much else going on. You can also research if you have nothing else going on. There we go. Because even if somebody has like no research skill, it's still pretty nice for them to be able to research. It helps to some degree. Alright, and our power grid seems to be keeping up decently well, even with the addition of the coolers. Yeah, and his happiness is going back up. That's good. Stuck indoors. I mean, he was imprisoned for a while, so yeah, that makes sense. Joyous presence, yeah. So that's what he does for everyone else, is he gives them joyous presence, but he doesn't give that to himself, so that's unfortunate. But this should go away, and this should go away, maybe, and this should go away, so he'll be very happy soon. How you doing, Ebos? Still hungry? Oh, we're out of human meat. We need more schmeat. Do you like hamsters or guinea pigs or whatever these are? I hope not, because you're gonna have to kill them. Rip and tear. Okay. Oh, you weren't here for it, I don't think, but you had an epic showdown between you and another ghoul. Another ghoul came to attack us, and you did like a 1v1 with it. So, and you won. So that was by quite a long shot, actually. So that was impressive. It was a good time. Take care of her favorite pet, a boar named Brutus, for 20 days. And that wouldn't be too bad. We'd get compact weaponry out of it, which would actually be pretty nice. Because if I remember correctly, putting hand talons on Ebos is actually a good thing. Was it hand talons that we wanted, or was it other things? No, it was the hand talons, I think. You knew you could do it? Of course. Because yeah, you're the superior ghoul. But yeah, I guess we could take care of a boar for 20 days. It would be increased food that we would need to feed it, but that wouldn't be bad. And then we can apply the tech print and it wouldn't actually give us any extra value, so... Hey, Brutus, let's make you a little spot in here. Probably near the... yeah, over here, so it's near to the food. We'll get Brutus. Yeah, and doctoring should include that and handling. So he should be fed automatically whenever he needs it. Should be alright. I'm still just looking at this rhinoceros like, man, I bet we could kill it. We'd have food for days for Ebos if we did. Why are you making... Your cooking sucks. You're not supposed to be on cooking duty. Or hunting. You could be on plant. Because why not? Not smithing. Research only as a last resort. Yeah, I didn't really set up his things very well. But you shouldn't be doing any cooking. He was on the captured ghoul thing? I mean, not really. He's just kind of chilling. We're studying him every so often to get the anomaly research, which eventually will get ghoul infusion. So he can make more ghouls. And then you'll have buddies. Because, yeah, I don't think you can tame ghouls, sadly. I was considering that maybe if you kill an enemy ghoul and then use ghoul resurrection, which is over here, which we won't have for a long time, but if you did kill and resurrect a ghoul, it might turn to your side, but I'm not certain about that. Either way, it'll be great, I'm sure. But it's a good thing you didn't die before when fighting the other ghoul, because we wouldn't be able to resurrect you for a long time otherwise. And that would be bad. Oh, we need... ooh. High-tech research bench. Sad. But we do need to get that, so... let's deconstruct you. And make a big boy research bench in its place, which is going to be expensive, but should be worth it. You're doing fine. How about Ebos? Ebos is doing fine. Ebos, go kill the rabbit. It's asking for it. It's trying to eat all the plants that our horse needs. Alright. And you're officially up to 12 melee, which is pretty solid. You guys all bored? Why are you all bored? Oh, because I never set this. So one person will be able to research. Everyone else is kind of not going to be able to do that. You know what? I want Void to be doing the research because he's actually fast at it. Everyone else just kind of finds something to do, I guess. Oh, we have a good amount of medicine now. Yeah, and everyone's on that medicine. That's good. But yeah, it's going fast. There's a speedy research. Can I, like, assign a person? No. Let's just set these guys not to research there. You're like Rocky. True. Although I think you're stronger than Rocky, seeing as how you're, you know, literally like some sort of undead monstrosity that doesn't need to sleep or have comfort or anything. You just need to eat raw meat. I don't think Rocky can compete with that. Yeah, it does kind of suck that these two don't have much to do, but it's not like I have... Well, that would have been useful before. Maybe. We were doing religious conversion, not recruiting, so I probably wouldn't have done much. So yeah, I don't know what we're supposed to do with the two of you, because you're just not really good at much of anything, and we don't really need plants done right now, because they're all already planted. So you just wait, I guess. Is anyone at all good at crafting? Oh, you're actually at 4 crafting. That's better than Void. So that's a plus. We could have you be our crafter. Any crafting we want done? Not really. You could start smelting. Power toggle. And then unsuspend this. And we can put you to crafting. Yeah, now you're gonna smelt metal from slag. So yeah, he can do that for a while. That'll give us some more steel, which is nice. Aside from that, you need to eat again. Kind of a constant struggle. There's a boom rat, but fire would be difficult to handle right now because no rain. It's like that meme. You may not like it, but this is what peak masculinity looks like. Just this scrawny little undead dude. That is peak male performance right there. But yeah, I also don't think that you were here a little bit ago when I mentioned that I'm getting a new model thing eventually. I've started the process to commission a new model thingamawhatsit, and hopefully I will have that in like 4 months or something. So, still a ways away, but the process has been begun, and I'm excited about that. Yeah, we should have plenty of components for an assault rifle or two. Except, where do we make these? Machining table. Okay, perfect. Good. I thought maybe we need a fabrication bench for that. Alpha Bros must be jelly, indeed. You're just way too Giga Chad for them. And yeah, new model will be very, very nice. It's not a PNG tuber like this. It's actually like a full live 2D thing. It's gonna be expensive, but that's fine. And hopefully also gonna get completely new assets for like overlay. I don't even know if I'm gonna have an overlay. I don't know. I know a lot of people go for more minimalist overlays nowadays. The big chonky overlay like what I have is a little outdated, I think. I don't know. But yeah, that'll be good. Might get new background music and everything of that sort. Just re-theme everything around the new character. So that'll be good. That'll be a fun time. Man, Ebos, you just need to eat all the time. I mean, I'm just giving you a bunch of small game to eat, but still. Go kill the bird if you can frickin' catch it. Alright, bird eradicated from this existence. Very good. We're almost out of metal to burn, so that's... You'll be out of a job again, Mr. Piotr. When's Morg getting back? Not that it would really matter. 6 days. Because they wouldn't really have much to do anyway around here. Oh, the Scythe Vampires. That is an interesting title for a faction. So they're waiting a bit before attacking. They have a wood club, pants, and some weed. That's not really a very terrifying attacker. And somehow they're a psychopath and jealous. It's interesting. But alright, shouldn't be that difficult, especially because they already are like half dead because of the amount of scars they have. This guy should be no problem for Ebos to just eradicate and then eat. They don't even have like a sharp weapon. Or I guess even if they did, Ebos wouldn't care because he can't bleed. So... Yeah, are you ready to eat some more pork? Is this guy... Yeah, he's a pigskin. So... That'll be easy. How... Okay, well, also, how is this guy a young psychologist and a psychopath? Like, do many psychopaths turn into psychologists? I feel like you need a bit more empathy for being a psychologist, wouldn't you? I don't know. Also, apparently he's a faction leader. Interesting. But, you know, he can attack whenever he's ready. I would send you out to go and attack him preemptively, but I kind of want him closer to base so we can butcher him easier. Here he comes. Alright, Ebos, do your thing. Oh, you're actually getting beat up. There we go. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, he's not having a good time right now. You're also not having a good time, but doing slightly better. Surprised the guy's still standing with all these wounds. You'd think he'd be downed by now. I think one of your injuries disappeared while you were fighting. I think one of them healed mid-combat. Alright, perfect. Some psychologists get into the field because they want to figure out what's wrong with themselves. That's fair. Make sure to kill this guy. I want him out of here. We need to kill him so we can butcher him. There we go. Good job. Alpaya's gonna butcher him, and then you can eat him. It'll be delightful. Then we can sell all this weed and get money. Alright, go eat the meat. Is that the normal amount of... I don't know if that's the normal amount of meat you're supposed to get out of a human. Maybe pigskins give more. I don't know. Oh, and he's starting to take the mechanoid slag chunks and burn those. Additionally, you'd be able to haul all of these rocks if you really have nothing else to be doing. Because the more of these things we have out from here and in here... Entity escape? Bruh. Alright, well, Walter is asking for death. I just kind of wish he'd waited until Ebos was fully healed. But... Get in there, Ebos. And you guys... Get in there and start shooting up a storm. And try not to friendly fire shoot Ebos. Hey. Alright, how did your shooting go? Pretty nice. Decent amount of XP. Not as much as last time. But that's fine. But okay, well that means that we no longer have a entity in custody, which means that there's an open spot and we can get a new entity someday. That'll be nice. And you can butcher that for more human meat for Ebos. Very nice. Haul all that indoors. We just don't want any of this stuff around for other people to be able to hide behind. Not all the horses. Precision rifling. Okay, good. Go to sterile materials, which means that we can set you guys back to being able to research. And we want at least one of this. None of the colonists can do it because nobody has good crafting. Good. That is just great. Because yeah, nobody has good enough crafting. I don't know how we're gonna level it if nobody has a passion for it. So I guess this is just gonna have to wait. I wish we could make that, but we can't. We'll just have to wait until somebody actually comes along with good crafting skill. Or at least good passion for crafting. Hey, and Ebos is fully healed. Perfect. Alright, celebration opportunity is nice. Which actually, Piotr would be able to do that pretty well. Ah, another bulk goods trader. So while they are approaching, let's do the celebration. Why are you... What was that? Yeah, it's fine. I mean, you have the highest social skill, so you should be the speaker. But it doesn't seem like it actually will do anything for us. We still have a very low, you know, quality. But that's probably fine. Royal Ascent. Not too necessary. Why are you doing that? You're not allowed that. Apparently you can't draft somebody while they're doing this. That's very annoying. Yeah. To be expected. We don't have anything in this room that's actually doing well for it. You go talk to this guy. Okay. Once again, another bulk goods trader without any components. That is just disappointing. But alright, get rid of this stuff, which he took one of these out of the room, which means that we won't be able to sell it, probably. Which is very not good. We can sell a little bit of the rice and all the human leather because we don't really need that for anything. And I think that's about it. Although we also don't need the survival meals, I don't think. Although I guess if we're doing... Yeah, I guess we'll keep them. If we're doing any trips in caravans, we'll want that to be available. Haul the silver. Good. Alright, now we just... It's nice that we have these guys hanging around, because if there's any threats that come in while they're here, then we can just let them deal with it. So we'll just let them stick around for a bit. Because I think they did add into the base game, yeah, the ability to dismiss traders. You didn't used to be able to do that. But now we can. It is kind of interesting how many mods they kind of took inspiration from and added those same kind of effects into the base game. Like, the landmark system used to be a different mod, and now has at least part of it thrown into the main game. Same with books. Books used to be a mod. What else should we get? We eventually need all of this stuff. Essentially. We could start getting prosthetics to work up to bionics. That'd probably be useful. We have so much human meat. Ebos will probably be happy for a good while. Visitors. Don't we have enough visitors? Yeah, they don't really have anything new. So, no thank you. Yeah, and this whole area is almost full. So I guess we might as well expand it even further, just to have more defensive areas. Oh boy, manhunters. Bluebirds. Those are a little tough to deal with. Ebos, it is your time to shine. Fulfill your destiny. Now kill that one. And everyone's asleep, so it's either the visitors or Ebos that's going to be getting attacked by this, which is perfect for us. Are you out for blood? I think you are. The visitors just saw the bluebird from a distance, was like, must kill. Alright, good job, Ebos. Oh, they all rotted? Dang it. Yeah, that happens sometimes with Scaria. It's the disease that manhunters usually come into the map with, and they have, I think on this difficulty, a 60% chance of rotting immediately when they die. So, sadly, none of them are edible for you. You're gonna have to go and eat some human meat from the freezer. Alright, we can put it at a higher speed again. Person come back in 3.7 days now. Good. Did you just go and eat? You did. Okay, good. I always get a little paranoid that he's gonna forget to automatically eat, and then he's gonna go all crazy and attack us. yeah, I mean, there's not much else to do for now. Everything's fine, so we just sit back and relax and wait. Normally, when you're looking forward to something spicy, would they be spicy because they're infected with a disease and that changes how they taste? Or, I don't know. But either way, usually while playing Rimworld, if we get to like a lull like this, I'll usually be like watching a video on my other screen or listening to music. You know, time flies when you're able to just kind of jam out and play Rimworld for hours. Let's also expand this like that and shrink it like that, just so there's a way around that. Our aesthetics are done. Let's go for hospital beds next. Move those. Same with here. Probably just expand these. Okay. Yeah, they're actually filling this out very well, surprisingly. We might need to expand it again. Just all the way out to there. Started to watch YouTube videos? Yeah. I'll watch all sorts of stuff while playing Rimworld. Because, you know, half the time you only need to pay half attention to it. You know, if any big raids come in, you can just pause the videos and pay attention to the game. Ooh. But our batteries are starting to be hurting. I think it's because we turned this back on. So, go turn that off to save us some power. We could also just make a third solar panel, but I don't want to deal with that. I really hope they actually give me a good crafter at some point, eventually. Because we need that. That's like the last thing we need. A mining and a crafting person. And then the base is complete. We also need to make some actual, like, dedicated rooms for the holding cell. And maybe, like, a human prisoner room as well, but... we'll see. Mord comes back in 2 more days. That's a nice little defensive line I've set up. Because standing behind these gives... I don't know the exact percent when it's 2 chunks. You get quite a good bit of defense from ranged attacks if you're standing behind 2 chunks worth of defense. And we've almost filled this up again. I just expanded it. You know, at some point, we're gonna end up with too many enemies. And Ebos isn't gonna be able to protect us forever. Which is why we need a second Ghoul. Because, you know, if one Ghoul isn't enough, you just double it up and that solves all your problems, right? can only eat so much. Yeah, I mean, it's... I think that you can eat a lot more than you might think you can. And you just keep getting hungry. It's a little hard to keep up with. Hey, free food. Go eat. That's quite convenient for us. I doubt the wolf is very happy that you're just coming in and stealing its food, but, you know. We don't care about its opinion. Yeah, the ghouls, if you have too many of them, you might not be able to feed all of them, and then they can rebel against the colony. Luckily, they eat meat, which you can get in quite large amounts. You know, generally. Let's go with... I don't know, honestly. Do you think we would put a shield belt on a ghoul? Probably not. We can go with a multi-analyzer. But yeah, you can get a lot of meat in storage at once. And I mean, if you're having to kill an enemy every single time your ghoul needs to eat, then it can be a little annoying. But if you just have them eat already butchered meat, it seems to only be like 30, maybe 20 to 30 meat a day. So even a few ghouls you'd be able to pretty easily sustain with, if you were killing large game like the rhinoceroses. Which, how much do they give? Are they still on the map? This one is. Because yeah, one rhinoceros gives us 420 meat from just one rhinoceros. So if you're able to kill those big guys, then that's like a whole week of a couple ghouls being fed. Which is pretty nice. Plus, you have all the enemies that come in. Any raid that comes in, you kill them all. Then all of a sudden you can just butcher all of them, and that's another like month worth of meat for a ghoul. So it probably won't be that difficult to upkeep unless we get something like a year-long cold snap or volcanic winter kind of thing. Those might be a little difficult to sustain. But let's add some more power, because our power is running a bit low. There we are. Now we get plenty of electricity, which actually we can turn this off as well, just to save on more electricity, because we can't do anything there because nobody can craft, so 'tis unfortunate. Maybe once Morg gets back in 0.3 days, then maybe they'll get married, and then they'll have babies, and then we can just train the baby to craft. Hopefully. You know, it's still a little random what the children are going to be good at. It's not always a guarantee that they're going to be able to do what you want them to do. Which I guess is kind of the struggle of every parent. You know, you have a kid, you want them to grow up learning how to craft, and then they go and do something else that you never wanted for them. Because, you know, having kids is difficult. Eclipse. That probably won't do very much of anything to us. We're fine. Let's see. Bioferrite Harvester. That's what we want. Even though our research is now significantly slower. But alright, good. Morg is back. Now we have a total of 5 colonists, which is a lot. It's more than I usually have, even at an endgame colony, but that's just because I tend not to make very large colonies. 5 is actually rather rookie numbers for most playthroughs. This guy's still around for another 12 days, but that's fine. I forget what we get out of you. I think a tech print? A party. Nice. Ebos, there's free food. Go eat. You got porcupined, which is no good. I don't know how you were able to eat the whole porcupine, but... yeah, definitely. I mean, when it comes to parenting, a lot of it is like, you need to accept that they're gonna go the way that they want to go, and you need to let go of your, you know, preconceived notions of what you want for their life, because in the end, you know, when you have a kid, you think, oh, that kid is my kid, but then it's not yours, per se. They have their own life and their own goals and their own feelings. You can't control them. And that makes life a bit difficult. But once you kind of realize that whole, you know, thing, then you're probably going to be doing fine. You know, everyone's pretty happy so far. It's pretty nice. Usually my colonists aren't this happy, so I'm a little hesitant. Ooh, warfare for hire. It looks like a job for Ebos. Oh my gosh, 4 grenadiers and a gunner. That sounds difficult. Who is this person, though? Are they good at crafting? No, they're bad at crafting and they're a slow learner. And they're not even the right religion. Yeah, I mean, we already have a good artist, so I think. And that's a big group of enemies. Oh, but they give us 2 Janissaries. So yeah, that definitely Ebos plus 2 Janissaries could probably take out those things out. I mean, yeah, being a grandparent could indeed be... You could definitely get some revenge. Or, you know, it's kind of funny because a lot of people as grandparents end up spoiling the grandkids a lot more than they did with their own kids, which is pretty interesting. I know my mom definitely enjoyed being a grandma for a while there. But do I want to take this job here? Because, I mean, you could hold your own in a fight, at least, but slow learner. I mean, incapable of dumb labor? No. Get out of here. So if I were to take this, it would probably be the money and the book, which gives construction and artistic, which are it's pretty good. Several angles at once is probably a bad thing, though. But the Janissaries, if they're strong enough, they could definitely help us wipe this out. And then we'd get their weapons, because if there's a gunner, then we get another gun for you. And that would be pretty solid. Yeah, I mean, nothing else is happening. We need to take risks. That's kind of the issue with when you're at a bit of a slow point in the game. Oh yeah, but look at those weapons. Yeah, you got a charge lance and an LMG. Both pretty solid weaponry. And it looks like recon armor on both of them. Yeah, full recon armor on both. That is good. So yeah, these guys are just going to be hanging around for a while, and then we're going to have a fight, and Ebos is going to kill everything. Where is Ebos? He's up there. Okay. I want you to have a gun, but we don't really have a gun for you. Let's have Void drop his gun, and you can equip it. Just because we don't want Void dying, because he's, you know, our main researcher. We kind of need him to not be shot in the face a million times. So it'll be, what, 5 enemies coming from multiple directions, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fighters. 1 being very good melee, 2 being very good range. Wait, what are your skills? Yeah, they're decent. Pretty decent shooting skills on them. Just sleeping on the floor. Yeah, that's always the issue with these. We'll give you people and put them under your control missions because they don't really have anywhere to stay, because they're not an actual permanent part of our colony. They're just, you know, guns for hire that we have in here temporarily. Let's see, 6 hours ago, so we need to wait 10 more hours. Oh, shoot frenzy. That's perfect. Alright. That's actually really good, because she's the one with the charge lance, and those are normally pretty bad unless you have really good accuracy. Ebos is well fed. That's good. Yeah, we don't have a whole lot going on. It is kind of unfortunate. I do wish I had more things for people to do. I just don't want to increase our wealth too much, so they end up just sitting around half the day. You know, we should probably have everyone else off research so Void can research more, because he's our fast researcher. Where are these guys? There they are. Alright, what is the distribution looking like? Alright, there's the gunner, I believe. Because he has a gun. You know, it seemed like a fairly obvious way to determine it. Yeah, and they have lots of grenadiers. So, how do we want to split this up? This will be an interesting situation. So we can take you 3, send you out there, send Ebos with you. You 2 can come down here and start fighting these guys. Let's see. Possibly... No, you can stand here. You can stand further back here because they have grenades, so we want them a little bit more spread out. And Ebos can attack. Are these guys waiting? Oh, they are. Interesting. That's actually kind of good for us. So here's the plan. Because they're waiting, we can undraft them, but you have like sniper level range, so you should actually be able to poke at these enemies while staying completely safe back here. Yeah, sucky aim. Okay, this group is fleeing. Man, they suck. Alright, easy enough. They just one-shot him with a freaking charge rifle bolt. And the other one was like, I gotta get out of here. So now you guys just gotta do the same thing to this group, and then everything will be hunky-dory. Oh. You what? There's still... Okay, well, I guess these guys have decided, the one half of the enemies are gone. So our job here is done. I guess we're doing this other half of the attack all alone then. That's just delightful. I'm glad they did that to us. I've never seen that before, but I can see how the coding would mess up with that, because normally these attacks don't come from two directions. And when it comes from two directions, it counts as two separate groups. So if one group leaves, the game could just be like, ah, quest done. Time to take back our temporary units. But that's very weird, and I don't much appreciate it. So we need to set these guys up in a place where they're going to be mostly safe. We outranged pretty much all of them, even though we are low range, but this guy is all they have, and he has a machine pistol, which is pretty low range. So all of you guys stand back here. Ebos is gonna run in and start dodging Molotovs and distracting people. Dang it, Ebos. Stop catching on fire. Okay, are you guys all firing at the same guys? Ebos, do something. Ebos, do something. Do something useful. Ebos, do something useful. Okay. I really hate Molotovs. Oh, but Ebos is being useful again. Good. Okay. Hit him, please. How did you catch on fire? Did you Molotov your own guy? Okay, don't go around it that way. What are you doing? Okay, and you need to not walk into the fire. Okay, now they're fleeing. Good. How are you doing? The machine pistol was the main issue, because Ebos was freaking on fire for 90% of the time and not actually helping, which was not very appreciated, because you were supposed to be distracting the machine pistol guy, and you didn't. But, you know, that's fine. That's what happens when you have frickin' Molotovs being thrown everywhere. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Molotov guys. And, you know, the one guy that ran off was the guy that had the machine pistol. That was the whole reason I accepted the quest in the first place, is that I wanted that machine pistol. But, you know, that's fine. Can you guys, like, lay down, please? No? Okay, you're just gonna waddle back home at, like, 1/5 the speed of anyone else? Guess that's fine. You know, if that's what you're wanting. Why are you butchering instead of helping? Thank you. Alright, well, that went well enough. Surprisingly. I kind of thought that everything would go more poorly than that. And exotic goods. Did we even bring the silver in? We didn't. Somebody do that before that book just wastes away. I really wish they would have just, you know, actually let us keep the guys we were supposed to have to help us with that attack. Because that would have gone a lot smoother if we'd had 2 expendable gunmen. Oh, great. You know, I'm betting that's because you're not resting like you're supposed to be. Do we even have anyone? I think Void is good with talking. Not that I think we can buy anything here. No, not really. Well, we could buy a bionic arm. Or... no, we're too poor for jump packs. Not that we'd use jump packs, but it always gives you jump packs when you don't want them. So you eventually just end up buying it just to get it out of the way so it stops offering it to you anymore. Yeah, we could get a bionic arm and give it to what's his face. Get rid of the scar. But I don't know. Ooh, you know what we do need? We need 20 gold. Because that's what you need for multi-analyzer, and I think we have enough plasteel. I think it's 50 plasteel for a multi-analyzer, so that should be fine. And then we can take all your components. Thank you. Okay, did you tend to this guy? No, you're being lazy, as always. And of course, why did you not clean the room first? You people are all freaking lazy and stupid. Yeah, we'll set his medicine up higher. Let somebody clean, because evidently Paya's just completely allergic to cleaning things. Even though that's what you're supposed to do before you know, heal somebody. But because you don't have mods, you can't actually have them do that. Oh, hey, we get this. We'll accept that, because that'll, you know, it's a long-term quest, so might as well have it started. Where are you going? Bring in the components so they stop decaying. At least infections move quickly. It's not like the flu where he's gonna be gone and like out of the game for, I don't know, like a week straight. 'Cause that's always annoying. Alright, that's a much better quality of tend, because the room is actually clean and used better medicine. Hey, Bose, how are you doing? You're kind of hungry. Go kill the fox, because it's telling me there's a fox in the animal pen. Thank you. You got kind of beat up by that fox. Alright. We definitely need longer range weapons. But that'll take either a lot of trading or actually good crafting skill. Neither of which we have. Yeah, this is definitely done. Don't need you to be on good medicine anymore. Brutus. Causing filth. He'll be gone eventually, soon enough. Yeah, and sadly a lot of the stuff up here just burnt because they Molotoved the entire place for some reason. They thought that was a good idea. Alright, and then this will be done very shortly. Let's take you off bed rest there. So I'm not really sure what else you could be doing aside from resting. It's kind of all we're able to do. I mean, I guess technically we could afford a second high-tech research bench. I just don't know how necessary that would be. Everyone here just has no marketable skills. I mean, look at this guy. He's not really good at anything. I could try to start leveling his crafting. That could be a venture we start going on. Like, if we start hunting, then we could get a lot of leather, get a tailoring bench, and start this guy tailoring. And maybe eventually his crafting would be up at a point that he is actually decent at it. Because there's no guarantee we're going to get anyone good. So we might as well just start working with what we have. We'll set Morg to be our hunter. There, she's already our hunter. Okay. I'm way ahead of myself, apparently. And we'll just set you to hunt everything that won't attack you back. Including the boom rats, because it's raining, so that's fine. I love you using a shotgun for frickin' hunting. That's great. But that should get us all sorts of leathers. And then from those leathers, we will get all sorts of good stuff. We'll make dusters forever. Only you. And okay. Yeah, we'll keep this in the dark so that it's as... Wait, we can also turn off the power, right? And it still does it? Because I think it just goes... Yeah, it just goes slower at low power. Get him, Morg. You got this. Good job. So yeah, this will increase our value quite sharply, but if we can get this guy good at crafting and make some assault rifles, that will offset the increase in difficulty quite easily. And you're almost back to full health. And then we'll have, like, infinite food for Abos, so we won't have to worry about that ever again. Crime kid. I forgot that's what their backstory was. Monolith study complete. Now provides more knowledge when studied. Good. Ebos, get out here. I think you can firefight. Good job, Ebos. We've stopped a catastrophe from happening. Because forest fires are no good in this game. We don't like them. Do we still not have enough of any singular type of leather to make a single duster? Shelter for allies. Ooh, Resurrector mech serum. But 2 people for 25 days. That sounds really sucky. And I don't want to put 300 gold. What the heck? Honestly, I think the 300 plasteel is better. You know, you can get gold in many places, but plasteel is a lot, you know, more difficult to get in bulk like that, and you need a lot more of it. And they have paralytic abasia, so they basically would just be more mouths to feed, and not much else. So that would probably be fine, right? Honestly, I think it would be. It'd be 25 days, so kind of annoying, but give us infinite plasteel. That would be a lot of advanced components out of that plasteel, and we need plasteel and advanced components in order to make big guns, but that still takes crafting skill, which this guy doesn't have yet. We'll figure it out. Well, I'm sure we're going kind of like absolutely crazy on the quests recently. And you... I don't know, go like... Why are you only linking to these two? Why are you not linking these two at all? It's kind of weird. Because isn't it supposed to be linking to like all the buildings? I don't know. I'd like to place it like here, but these are kind of directly in the way, so we'll need to reinstall these further down. Alright, we got these two here now. Additionally, we will chop down some trees to get more wood, because we are low on wood. What are you guys hanging around doing? Build these. Oh, they're hostile. Alright, well that is a bit of a problem now, isn't it? Ebos, get in here. Luckily, Ebos was just hanging out in the frickin' the fridge here, so he was just right nearby. Alright, well, that sucks. But you know what we do about that? We just put down a little prisoner bed and capture him. And then we re-recruit him. Easy as that. You move very slowly, Void. I know you got bruised, but you know. Alright, back to marriage ceremony. You know, we won't need you anymore if you, Also, we left these guys outside for the whole ceremony. That's not very nice of us. We're just like, ah, yes, I know you just arrived and you're stuck outside in the frickin' elements when you're paralyzed, but we're celebrating a wedding inside, so we can't help you. It's the rules. Alright, so we'll need to recruit this guy, which will be difficult. But you know, yeah, that's fine. It'll just take a while. But we don't have any problem with things taking a while. Oh yeah, and these two share a bed now, so we don't even need more beds. We'll probably still build them anyway, because why not? We can build that there. We have plenty of medicine. Everything's fine. Alright. So yeah, that's something that can happen with random joiners that come into your colony, is they can sometimes be evil, and they just want to... Oh wow, that was fast. Literally, first, like, imagine getting pregnant on your wedding night. Like, what the heck? That took 1 day. I mean, I'm happy. I'm very happy. That means we're getting started on the whole baby thing instantaneously. But even so, really freaking fast. We need a crib. That's here. We're gonna get more wood, so that'll be fine. How's your resistance doing? Your resistance didn't go down at all. Did you? Oh, I think he went to sleep halfway through it, and Ebos is just staring at him. He's just like, one more wrong move, and you will be my food. You've been warned. Ah. Ebos, go put out the fire again. You're our local fireman. How's your shooting skill doing? Pretty good, actually. I like to watch True. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good resistance reduction. Alright, but we can unhuntify for now. Because we were mainly hunting to get leather for this guy to be able to skill up his crafting, but because he is now not going to be part of our team for a good while, we probably don't need him doing any crafting anytime soon. So I'm sure that'll be fine. And look at all this meat. Ebos ain't going hungry anytime soon. Alright, so multi-analyzer's done, but we can't get anything requiring the multi-analyzer just yet. Actually, we might be able to build the multi-analyzer already. Yeah, we most definitely can. Okay. Well, screw everything else. We'll just rip up our whole research room to make this thing. Ooh, we should also... It'll take some metal, but... I think we could maybe place this here? Maybe over here? I don't know where it would be best. We'll place it up in the corner. And then orbital trade beacon here. Because with the combination of those two, we will be able to do some trading. Didn't I set this to be only the other guy? No, it's now set to any worker. Alright, we'll have Void just finish that one then. And you're supposed to be on researching. Actually, can I just cancel this? I can, okay. Because, yeah, this should be suspended until we actually get someone we want to be leveling crafting. Otherwise, it's just kind of a waste of resources. Power. I don't know how close that has to get, but we'll build some more over there. Everything is going swimmingly. It's going like way faster than I'm usually comfortable with, because like we have these guys here and there's a baby coming eventually. First trimester. It takes a while, I guess. And then this guy rebelled and now we're having to deal with his shenanigans. So it's like we have a lot going on all at once, but surprisingly it's fine. Plus, we've increased our wealth sharply, very quickly. Actually, not all that sharply. It's been trending up. But it's just a little uncomfortable sometimes to be doing that much all at once. Is it going too easy? To a degree, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's Rimworld. Usually things go horribly wrong. Though it is on just normal difficulty, so shouldn't expect it to be all that tough anyway. But alright, comms console is up. And orbital trade beacon is going, so we'll be able to trade with any orbital ships that come by. And you keep cooking using the meat, which I understand generally the logic of that. But we're gonna actually turn off the shmeat and the animal products. Mainly just use rice. We have rice in abundance. Make meals out of that. And bioferrite shaping is good. But yeah, now we have this guy, these two, and this boar all taking up extra food. It's a good thing we have so much food production, or else we might actually be in trouble. Somebody needs to be cleaning. Paya is supposed to be cleaning, but I guess because we've had plants to do, she hasn't been doing it. But yeah, and even though this guy was a jerk, we'll still, you know, we'll still rehire him back onto the team. Oh yeah, and then research. We can actually select now that we have the multi-analyzer. I want a vitals monitor. So we can have a good hospital, which I don't know where I want that. Maybe down here. Maybe up here. Probably up here. Yeah, that sounds good to me. So let's see. Usually, I will have the beds placed in this formation. So if we take this and copy and place it kind of just in the middle there. I mean, that doesn't work like that. So we need to delete you. We would actually need to put it against this wall here. But that should be fine. And put a door. Good. All right. That will be our hospital. And then we need sterile tiles, which are relatively cheap all in all. They mainly just cost silver. But if we could build all that, then we'll be set. And that'll be our medical room, and that will help us with people getting sick and all that. Build us one of these. We probably won't need more than one for right now. You know, I was kind of hoping that this guy and Paya would end up getting together so we could have more babies, but no. Sadly not. Because, you know, he had to go all aggressive on us and all that. Oh, we should check our home area. Because, yeah, this, we haven't expanded it since we made that, or this, or any of this. So lazy. I need to keep on top of that. Yeah, resistance is going down steadily. I was really worried with this guy's really high social skill that we'd just never be able to move the needle on that one. But we're running low on metal, so we need some like bulk goods traders or a bulk goods ship or something of that sort to come by, and then we can do some good trading. Maybe sell off all this leather that we've gotten. Where's the mad doe? Right there. Okay, Ebos. Kill it. Intercept better. You are bad at intercepting, Ebos. Come on. And who knew that ghouls were slower than deer? Get them. Oh yeah, you're totally winning this fight. There we go. Kill it to death. Yeah, you could just attack the head. You just punch it right in the face. There we go. Alright, good stuff. Our hospital's almost done. Of course, doing all this probably increased our wealth a bit. It's hard to tell. But I would assume so. Oh, good. Solar flares again, just in time to, you know, make all the meat in the freezer rot, because that's what solar flares like to do. Not a fan of solar flares. I usually turn them off. I usually, in the scenario settings, I disable that incident because it's just kind of annoying. Especially if you have hydroponics. We're lucky we're not reliant on hydroponics, because usually solar flares last just long enough for it to kill off all of your hydroponic plants, and then the power flips back on and you're back to square zero on planting. So it is quite bad, but here we have year-round growing season with rich soil, so we don't have to worry about hydroponics. At least not until we get to a grav ship level, which we will get to eventually. Yeah, but all this is just refrigerated now. Well, this still doesn't have any... Oh, no, it would have power, just, you know, solar flare. Forgot about that. Ah, yes. Go in here to make one little square of roof and then leave. Brilliant there, Void. You know, every time someone walks in this room, they come in here to clean, and then as they leave more stuff that needs to be cleaned. It's like, that is not very efficient. You'd think if you were going in there to clean things, you would make sure you actually left it clean. But evidently, no. Alright, 3.8 days for Brutus. How's the baby doing? Still first trimester? Only lasts 18 days. It's pretty quick. Alright, we can place this just at the table if we want, because why not? Is the windmill still doing stuff? No, we got rid of that a while ago. We just have the 3 solar generators now, which is working quite nicely, because if you look here, you can see that our place is sunny, which means that solar generators end up getting a lot more uptime usually. Because, you know, there's less fog and rain and all that. But yeah, we destroyed the wind turbine a while back because it was in the way of our refrigerator. This connected? Yeah, this connects to all of them. Some of these beds we should get rid of, though. Like this one being poor. Why wind? Well, because solar, early on, we didn't have this research. So you start with wind power, because you get that from the electricity thing itself, but then solar is a different research. So we had electricity, but we didn't have the solar panel, and we needed to get power to be able to survive for the first little bit. So I made a temporary wind turbine, and then went into the solar as soon as I could, and then switched from the wind to the solar entirely, and batteries. So yeah, it was just a bit of a transitional period there. How much bioferrite do we have? Quite a bit, actually. In theory... What does this take? Too much. Okay. If we wanted... Yeah, I need to play City Skylines someday. I think I have the game. I just haven't ever gotten into it very far. So if we wanted to build out of bioferrite, this is a 3x3. So it would be like that for those three. I think corners also matter. Maybe. I don't remember. And let's do one further. So then 2, 4. We'll just have a small 4x4 room, most of which will be taken up by one of those. And then a granite door just to have the maximum amount of security on that. Then we'd reinstall that there, and reinstall this here. And we'll have a very nice little, you know, holding cell room. We should have enough bioferrite to be able to afford all that. Because bioferrite is good in numerous ways. It has high strength compared to other things, and it doesn't have very good, you know, it's not nice to look at, but it increases your security strength for these platforms by a lot. So, comparatively, it's very good for that. Because yeah, now with a granite door and bioferrite walls for the most part, we get 126 containment strength, which is much better than this place had. So if we find anyone to contain, we will be able to do that. And then we should also make bioferrite flooring as soon as we get that. But I think that takes shaping. Yeah, and we don't have that yet. But someday. Ooh. They're attacking immediately. Is it just you? Freaking Chimichanga, the enemy? Alright. That's not bad. Ebos. You can deal with a man with a spear, right? We'll send... we're not going to send the pregnant lady out there. We'll have Ebos 1v1 the guy, and Paya will provide some, you know, ranged assistance. Not that I think they're going to do a whole lot, but that's fine. Go attack frickin' Chimichanga, man. I believe in you, Ebos. Wow, you are taking a lot of damage here. Come on, Ebos. Alright, well, this guy's pretty much dead. How are you still up? Oh, you're a Neanderthal. Okay, that explains a lot. Alright, Morg, get out here. This guy shouldn't be that fast. Yeah, he's easily outran. And Ebos should be alright. He's just taking a bit of a nap. Because, yeah, I was like, with this many injuries, this guy should be down a long time ago. But, yeah, it turns out Neanderthals, very strong. First of all, strong melee damage. That's why Ebos was getting hit so hard. Robust means that they don't take very much damage, comparatively. And I think there's something in here that makes it so they don't... Yeah, reduced pain. So they don't go down from pain very easily. So, that explains a lot. How you doing, Ebos? You living? I mean, you can't bleed out, so as long as you don't die instantly, you're good, so... Good job, Ebos. You did great. Sacrificing, life and limb. Not even life, just limb. Several limbs. To fight off that guy. You're doing the colony proud. Yeah, and I guess you just got downed because your moving got put below a certain amount. Because, yeah, your legs are a bit borked. I aim to please, indeed. That went surprisingly well for a fight against a Neanderthal with a spear. Spears are kind of scary. Alright, whenever daytime comes around, we'll do another celebration and hope it's not boring. That'll be great. When are you leaving? 2 days? Okay. Hey, you're up and running again. Surprisingly. You're sitting in the freaking medical bed. I wonder how much that actually boosts your healing. Alright. Alright, I will probably be ending the stream at some point as well. So, I will see you around, Ebos. And, hopefully everything is not on fire when you next, come to the stream. Because who knows what will happen between now and next time you're here. Everything could fall apart and go horribly wrong. Or stop botching all the medicine. We need that. Alright, now you just have limbs to grow back. I'm sure that'll be fine. Yeah, see? Already growing stuff back. Stop botching them all. Thank you. Good. We need that medicine. Although not really. It's honestly probably good that she's botching it, because then she's getting good, plant skill. Alright, you have a good one as well, Ebos. I will see you around. I'm a bit tired. I don't know why. Although I kind of do know why. I once again didn't sleep right. I always do that to myself. I don't know why. I should just put in more of an effort to actually sleep a goodly. Alright, well, your leg is recovering, but of course, everything else around it then got... Ooh, inspired trade. Man. Everything's just been going a bit crazy in game. Everything's moving so fast. Now we need more shards. We haven't found any more shards. I guess we could deconstruct this for a shard if needed. But, yeah. We need shards to be able to make more ghouls, though. So if we find a suitable ghoul... I wonder if the Neanderthals would be good ghouls. I think they would be. I mean, they come with robust, which is kind of like diet tough. And reduced pain doesn't do anything for them. High melee damage would be really good, I'm sure. So yeah, Neanderthal. In theory, a Neanderthal ghoul with tough would probably be invincible. So... Alright, now that's regenerating. It's kind of cool that they have these, like, bones in the legs, but you don't actually... I don't think you can get hit in the radius. I think these only really apply with this kind of situation where you're regrowing things. Alright. Steel. When we finally have somebody who can actually mine, that will be very efficient. It'll be a lot of steel for us. Until then, it does absolutely diddly. Alright, we can try to make a bit more space with this stuff. Just because we want them to continue having something to do, and more defenses is always nice. We should also get rid of all this, so enemies don't have any areas to hide out while we shoot at them. Same with probably all of this, and all of this, and all of this, and all of this, and those. Because a lot of enemies seem to come from this direction, so by clearing out all their cover and putting cover down for us, we might be able to sway the balance a little bit. How are you? You're almost there. Surprisingly close. Yeah, surprisingly high slave price, too. It's kind of impressively high. I guess he does have some good skills, which are both going to be decaying away very slowly. Are we supposed to put the boar in here? I think so. If it's not the right shuttle, then that would be very awkward. Alright, tech print. Void. Go apply it. Good stuff. Now I think that adds absolutely zero actual value, because we no longer have the tech print. We use it up. And that's very nice. Not that we're being very conservative about wealth. We really could be doing a lot better on that, but... I'm sure it'll be fine. We just need this baby to be born and grow up real fast and give us lots of crafting XP. And if it can do that, then we will survive. If it doesn't do that, we are probably very dead. Definitely need more ghouls. Better ghoul things. But we need advanced research in order to get the enhancements. And I don't know where we're going to be able to get that from. How much longer are you guys going to be here? 17 days. Okay. That's going to be a while. I do hope you can pass down traits to the baby, because if we could get any of these, really, that would be a very good baby to have. How's our meat amount doing? Seems perfectly fine. Are you able to eat pemmican? No. Kind of makes sense. because there is plant matter in pemmican, but there's also meat. So you'd think they could at least partially eat it. You know, it's just like trail mix, where you just pick out the candy and eat that. It would be like that, but with pemmican, where you just pick out the meat bits and leave all the raisins for other people. Could be good. Alright, he's almost back to us. Hopefully they can't betray you twice in a row. I don't think they can. But if he did, I would be a little peeved. But yeah, we're probably gonna end the stream soon. Because I need to go get more water. Ooh. Definitely go butcher that. What even killed that? Timberwolf, of course. Yeah, I need to get some water. Probably some ice cream. Because why not? And numerous other things. So that will be good. Things are definitely going very quickly in this game. Surprisingly so. And I feel like I'm too far ahead in some ways without being at all prepared for it. And it's a little scary. You make compact weaponry. That'll be useful for our ghoul. But okay, we will save that there and call it a day. Because that has been... A lot has happened. But we got a new guy. We will have a baby eventually, whenever Morg decides to, you know, finish that up. And that'll be good. I don't know how that's gonna go though, because as I said, I've always had a few mods that changes how, you know, child rearing works in the game. So I'm not sure if it's gonna be exactly the same as I remember. I think they still have the same like learning stuff and growth points or whatever. I think that's the same as in baseline biotech, but I'm not 100% sure. So we will have to get in there and see what happens with the baby. And then we'll need to make numerous more babies. Like 50 of them. And that will be fantastic for us. So we'll get to that next time, and I will see you guys next time. So goodbye.